The goal with this video is to discuss the preamble to the Constitution. We will be filling in your notes. We're going to fill in the section that looks like this on the final page of your notes packet. I will let you know when you'll be filling in each section. You do not need to be filling it in as you're watching the video. The video will pause automatically, and that is when you will fill in your notes. For the first few sections, we are going to be filling in what we learn in sections 1, 2, and 3, and then we'll answer the 2 questions at the bottom at the end of the video. Again, you do not need to be writing while the video is playing. When the video will pause, that is when you will write in your notes. We're going to start with section 1. So we're going to begin by looking at how the Constitution is organized. What you see here is a photograph of a copy of the Constitution. You'll see that it is 4 pages long and it's handwritten because remember, back when it was first created in the 1700s, they didn't have computers or printers or typewriters, so they had to handwrite it. The organization of the Constitution begins with the preamble. And then there are 7 articles or sections to the Constitution that discusses different ways that the government will be set up and how the government will run. We'll look more closely at each of these articles later in the year. And then finally, it ends with the amendments or additions to the Constitution. Today, we're going to focus on the preamble, and I want to look directly at how preamble has that prefix pre. Remember, pre at the beginning of a word indicates that it's before, and the preamble is before all of the other articles and sections in the Constitution. The preamble is the first sentence of the Constitution, and it's written here on the screen. It's sort of like the topic sentence, if you were going to think about it like in language arts. It's like the topic sentence of the Constitution. It reads, "We, the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity, do ordain and establish this Constitution for the United States of America." We're going to break down what all of this means later in the video, but for right now, we're going to fill in the section 1 area of your notes. When the video pauses, write that the preamble is the first sentence of the Constitution and begins with "We the people." We're going to move on to section 2. And now we're going to break down what this first sentence really means. The preamble lists the goals of the United States government. So this area right here, in order to, so the purpose of the Constitution is in order to do all of the things that are listed here. So the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union, is one goal. And that just means make the 13 states more united. Today we have 50, but when the Constitution was created, there were 13 states, and they had just been under a confederation where they were not very united. They were very separate and different. So this Constitution, one of the goals is to form a more perfect union or a more united country. Next, the goal is to establish justice. This is to have courts to settle disputes fairly and to treat all people equally. This is our second goal. The third goal is to ensure domestic tranquility. And that's a fancy way of saying keep peace inside the nation. That's our third goal. Our fourth goal is to provide for the common defense or to protect the nation with a military. The fifth goal is to promote the general welfare or provide public services to make our lives easier. And the sixth goal, according to the preamble, is to secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity. That means guarantee freedom for present and future generations. So we're getting liberty for ourselves and our posterity. Posterity would be people in the future. The preamble also says how we will accomplish those goals. So we, the people of the United States, In order to do all of these things, do ordain and establish. Ordain and establish means like make it official that this will be our government. So we, the people of the United States, in order to do all of these things, do ordain and establish this Constitution for the United States of America. At this point, we're going to fill in section 2 of your notes. When the video pauses, write that the preamble lists the goals of the U.S. government and how they will accomplish them. Moving on to section 3, the government performs its jobs to meet the goals listed in the preamble. These are the jobs that we've already learned about at the very beginning of the year. So the jobs of the government are to defend the nation, protect our rights, make plans to address issues, provide public services, settle disputes, and make laws to create safety and order. So the government does all of these things to meet the 6 goals that are listed in the preamble. At this point, fill in section 3 of your notes. The government performs its jobs to meet the goals listed in the preamble. We are going to do these final 2 questions, and I want you to come up with an answer to this first question. What is the preamble to the Constitution? Look at what you wrote in section 1 and section 2 of their notes to figure out the answer to this question. What is the preamble? Both of these will give you an answer to that question. Write that on your screen or on your notes now. And then finally, we're going to answer the question, what does we the people mean? The first 3 words of the preamble and of the Constitution as a whole is we the people. And that means that all people work together to accomplish those goals that are laid out in the preamble. This is where we get the idea of consent of the governed. We, the people living in the United States, are the governed because we're under the United States government. And consent means that we give permission for the government to do those jobs and follow the laws in order to meet those goals. Write that in your notes. At this point, you should have the whole top page of your notes on page 3 filled in. If it's not, go ahead and fill it in now. When it's filled in, you are done with this activity.